Hello everyone and welcome to the last day of the SuperUnited Blitz tournament currently being played in Zagreb, Croatia. Sorry about no videos up until now. The tournament is already over, but I was actually at the tournament. I visited the playing venue and I had the pleasure of meeting some of the players. I managed to get my board signed. And I've, talked to some of the players. I've talked to a lot of people. I've talked to Petar Leko. I've talked to Alireza's father. I've talked to, I've met a lot of you guys who were also there as fans. So it was a great experience for me. And yeah, this is the board that I got signed. Unfortunately, I didn't get all of the signatures. I did get some of them. And I did also get Aleko's signature on the board, even though he's not playing in the tournament. But it's actually my grandfather's board, who passed away some 10 years ago. And he won the board in a tournament in Vaikanze, like in 1986. So I thought it would, commemorate the board quite well if I get it signed by these great players, and I'm sure my grandpa would be very happy about that. But I came too late. I completely forgot that always on the final day of the tournament, the rounds start an hour earlier. So I was pretty sure the round started at 3 p.m. They started at 2 p.m. So by the time that I arrived, the players were already going into the playing hall. And well, like I said, I managed only to catch some of them. Here you can see I've caught Magnus just as I arrived in the playing hall. I think he like came back from jogging. I think he went straight from jogging into playing chess. So I managed to get a board signed by Magnus. Also, I managed to get it signed by Nepo here. He was also going to the game a bit earlier, not waiting like for the final second. And also, this is Lennart Ootes. He is the man behind pretty much all the photos you will see on this channel, as he covers pretty much all the tournaments. So there you have it. If you ever see Lennart anywhere, just buy him a beer, as he is truly a great warrior. So that being said, let's check out the game. So this is only one of the games. I'm sure you guys already know Magnus won the tournament. He was incredible yesterday. He won all the games. He went 9 out of 9, and he said that it will probably never happen again. And of course, he started the second day of the Blitz by drawing his game against Fabiano Caruana. But this is a game against Nepo, really a weird one, as it often is. So let's check it out. Nepo has the white pieces, and he opens with pawn to b3. He goes for the Nimzovich-Larsen attack, and here, principled would be to grab the full center with a move like d5 or e5, but instead we have pawn to g6. Sorry about that. We have bishop to b2, grabbing the full diagonal here, going after the rook, and knight to f6. We have pawn to e4, and now pawn to d6. Interestingly, and why Magnus went for this g6 line, I believe, because Magnus already played this against Nepomniachtchi. They played it in the St. Louis Blitz tournament in 2020, and Nepo defeated Carlsen in this line. But in that game, Magnus played c5. Here he goes for pawn to d6. And okay, Nepo goes pawn to f4 and bishop to g7. Someone asked me on Twitter if I was able to get Anand's signature on the board. I was not able to get it, as he was also already in the playing hall. But when he saw me, he did smile at me and wave at me. So at least that, it's not as great as a signature, but I was very happy that he did that. And also, I didn't want to disturb any of the players, in between games. Duda finished his round 1 game extremely quickly, so I was able to get his signature. And also Fabiano, as I was in the sort of the VIP area, I was near the players, and whenever they finished their rounds, they would come out, and then they would just enjoy the other games. I was also there, but I didn't want to annoy them to sign my board there, except I did annoy Fabiano because he finished his game very early. He won the game very nicely, and he was very, very happy, just talking to everyone. So I was like, hello. He waved at me, and then he also decided to sign the board. But other than that, I really didn't annoy anyone. But okay, bishop to g7, we have knight to f3, castles, and now pawn to d3. We have pawn to e5, and now f captures on e5. Point behind the temporary pawn sacrifice is, of course, knight to g4 by Magnus, where you cannot continue capturing further as the bishop on b2 is hanging. So here we have knight b to d2, and it is now already as of move 8 that we have a completely new game. We have knight to c6 by Magnus, now getting ready to capture back on e5 as you have 4 pieces attacking it, well, 3 pieces and a pawn, and now just queen to e2, continuing development, preparing to castle queenside, and while Magnus could perhaps postpone castling with some like a5 or bishop to h6, he just captures back. Knight g captures on e5, pawn to d4. Now, castling here would be a bit more precise, but the d4 looks like such a principled idea, grabbing the full center, and well, of course, if Magnus trades, then you just remain with a strong center. The problem is your queen and king are still beautifully aligned on the e file, and this could lead to problems. Knight captures on f3 by Magnus, knight captures on f3, and now rook to e8. And now you can't move both the queen and the king in the one move. So here, of course, it's better to hide the king, Nepo castles queenside, but now bishop to f5 by Magnus. Now, how do you defend here? Well, best would be to play something like knight to d2, but still, then you play bishop captures on e4, knight captures on d5, and it's not pleasant for white, not at all. You have to move the king at some point, rook captures on e4, okay, queen f2, you have sufficient defense of the d4 pawn, and the game continues. So this is probably best for Nepo, but instead he played pawn to e5. He wanted to keep everything, and now just d captures on e5. And again, d captures is what you should play. He played knight captures on e5. Magnus captured back with the knight, and now d captures on e5. But now it's a little bit different. Queen to g5 comes with check. King to b1, and now a move you would think impossible. Bishop captures on e5. How is this even a move, as, well, you're defending the e5 square twice. So bishop captures on e5, and it seems great because you cannot play f6, just queen to c4 check. So here's what Magnus finds. Rook captures on e5, and now you cannot capture back. If you capture back, then bishop captures on c2 check, picks up the queen on e5. So here, after rook captures on e5, Nepo moves the queen, queen to c4, and now rook to d8. The only correct way to utilize your advantage. The rook on d1 is undefended. The rooks are still disconnected. So how do you defend? Well, bishop to d3 is the only way, but even this doesn't seem like it's gonna help white all that much. Point is that after bishop captures, rook captures, you're gonna trade even further. Rook captures, queen captures, and now just queen captures on g2, and you're up 2 pawns. Chances are white is down too much material to defend this. You don't have time for something like check and captures, as the rook on h1 is hanging, and once the rook moves, you will just offer a queen trade. I mean, maybe it's, you know, in some perfect scenario, maybe you can defend this, but very unlikely in a blitz game, no way. So after rook to d8, Nepo tried bishop to e2 to avoid all of the trades and still connect the rooks, but now again the position is completely winning, but you have to figure out the correct idea. Feel free to pause the video and win the game for Magnus while I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on spotting this beautiful move. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, it is pawn to b5. Yes, sometimes it is pawn to b5. It's not always pawn to b4. But here there's not much to be done because the bishop here cannot be defended. If you move the queen, rook captures on e2 is coming. So the only move you can play is queen captures on c7, attack the rook on d8. Point being now that, of course, if rook captures on d1, the bishop can capture. And now the bishop is no longer hanging. However, Magnus finds the strongest reply, rook to c8, and it was in this position on move 20 that Jan Nepomniachtchi resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. It is just a, you know, a complete massacre. 20 moves, and well, yeah, once you move, of course, you will start losing material, and that's it. If queen to d6, okay, maybe you try something. Even rook captures on e2, you pick up the bishop first, and now you will start capturing on c2. There is no way to defend this. So yeah, very nicely done by Magnus. Not just winning this game, this is only one of the games that he won. He won many of them, as he won the tournament as well. Here are the final standings of the Grand Chess Tour. So Magnus wins it. He wins the tournament, and these are the Grand Chess Tour points. Although you can see that Magnus is a wild card, so he doesn't get any Grand Chess Tour points. But for those who are actually playing in the Grand Chess Tour, not just for this tournament, Nepo with 10 points, Alireza with 8 points, Fabiano Caruana with 7, Rapport with 5, and Young Krzysztof Duda with 3.5. And the As you can see, quite a lot of money has been won. Magnus as the wild card has won $40,000, Nepo 30, Alireza 25, Fabiano 20, Gukash 15, and so on and so on. And quite a pleasant experience for everyone, I imagine. Not for Konstantin, and also not maybe for Ivan Šarić. Anand also, he played incredible chess. He dominated in the rapids, and then he slowed down in the blitz. But I mean, what are you gonna do? So yeah, that's a little bit of photos, a little bit of info about the tournament, a little bit of standings. If any of you guys, I've taken a lot of photos with fans there. If you guys have them, do send them to me. I can also share them with everyone. So that would also be very nice. But yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If I haven't seen any of the games, I did watch games in the lobby with some of the players, and while I did enjoy them, I didn't really see many of them. So if you have any of your favorites, do use hashtag suggestion, and I will take a look. But now we are going to tend to some other events that are happening in the chess world. So yeah, once again, really hope you guys enjoyed it. I would like to thank James Eugene Cashman, John Austin, Paul Miller, Brad Roth, and Michael Marshall for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions and whatever else happens in the chess world. Thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.